you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Welcome everybody, it is Bulldog, and today I'm going to talk about Soulkeep and my reaction to their initial closed beta. I did a stream a couple days ago. If you want to go watch that, there's a couple hours of me playing through the game for the very first time. Anybody who has 500 packs can come in and play through their basically demo version. And this is kind of their first version, putting out to the public, gathering some feedback. And this is the first real chance for us to take a dive into the game and really see what it looks like, see how it plays, that type of thing. And I had a lot of fun over the 2 hours, but I want to kind of break everything down, simplify it, and explain how the game works, give my thoughts on what I think of it so far, and kind of my projections for it moving forward. So first, let's talk about how Soulkeep works. This is a tower defense game. If we come in here, this is where I left off after my stream. We have towers and spells that you'll be able to place on the battlefield. So you can see in this example, we have 4 different towers. We have 3 different spells that we will be able to use. You can also have a hero potentially. There's no hero here, but these towers and spells are what you will pull from those packs, those nightmare packs that you may have seen. Those are essentially the cards that you can buy. So right now we've got room for everything. So we'll include what they've given us here for this specific level. And then we'll come in here and we should be able to play the game. Well, there we go. All right. We needed to cooperate here. So we'll come here and then we have these portals. So in this case, I'm looking at this map for the very first time. We got this portal over here on the right side. These arrows over here on the left will tell us where the fiends or where our enemies are going to come from. And we can spend our mana to set up towers however we want them. Now, I'm kind of going through the video here real quick. I am not going to really concentrate on the strategy here for setting these, but I just want to show how it works. Up here at the top, we have a certain amount of mana to spend, 300 mana. Down here at the bottom, you can see all these items, these towers and spells cost different amounts of mana. One's kind of behind me here. We see like this card sharp here costs 60 mana. So I can place that out here. We've got a knife tosser. So I'll just drag this out here, and you can kind of see this little gray circle around it. That tells us the range. The fiends are going to come through the path. If I bring that back down, this light kind of looks like pavement here. That's how they will come through the map. I don't know the exact way that they're going to go, but they will follow those paths. So I'm going to set some things out here. So let's set. We'll see how I want to do things. We'll set like a tarantula little thing right here. Let's put maybe a knife tosser here. The knife tossers are kind of one of my favorites, so maybe we'll put one on the bottom, one on the top. We've got a spell, so we could put like this Stew of Doom. I kind of like. I was having some success putting it at the end as like a last resort, so maybe we'll put that down there. That activates whenever fiends walk over it. This Crackle Snap is really cool. Let's set this off. So we'll just set this kind of over here in the middle. That takes out a lot of different things. We've still got 120 mana left. Let's put one of the big towers out. Obviously, I really haven't liked these big towers all that well, but it's a nice AoE damage. We'll see how it works. I was kind of forcing those in too much during our stream, but we'll see how it plays. So we set everything out there, spending as much mana as we have available, or as much as we want, up to what we have available, and then we hit start. And then everything runs kind of like Splinterlands in that we just sit back and watch the battle. At this point, everything's actually already been run on the blockchain. I can come up here and I could fast forward it just like I do with Splinterlands. I can skip it. I can skip to the end because it's already been run. I'm just watching it at this point. There is nothing I can do to influence the battle. At this point, it is an auto battler. All of the strategy is deciding where you want to put these towers. And these towers can only be set along these specific lines here. So you see some of them got through, and we're gonna catch some of them. But some of those that got through then drained my health. I've got 6 health up here. So every time one of those goes into that portal, they lose 1 health. So we went down to 3 health there, based on how many got through, and that's wave 1. Our health carries over to the next wave, so we can keep going. And then we will do this all over again. And so now it's got a new fiend detected. There's going to be a new enemy that comes out. And we have now gained mana based on the amount of fiends that we took out. So we can upgrade our towers or spend new towers. To upgrade towers, which I could have done last time with the mana that I had, I can come in here and we can click on it. So that would cost 165 to upgrade. I don't have enough to do that one. This one costs 50 to upgrade. And if we click on this, we can see what it is. It has this tower has a stun, so it stuns for 50% longer. If I come over here, this one costs 120. They do, can I click? Yeah, I can click on it. They increase damage. This one is expensive. Increases damage 284%. This is the first level we've been able to see this tower on and test out this tower. That's a lot of increase in damage, and that's why it's a lot more expensive than the initial tower cost. So we could potentially upgrade those and run some things. So I spent all my mana without doing upgrades earlier, so there's not a lot left. But let's just go. Let's throw a couple more of these out here. Let's throw one kind of towards the back, and then we let it go through round 2. And what is unique here with this test that is actually very different than what the real game will present is that this level is the same every single time. Right now, this is playing more like a traditional tower defense game where we have levels to go through. And if I lose this, I can go back and I'll restart at the beginning of wave 1, but everything will be exactly the same. There is some randomness, there's some RNG in these battles. I can put the same towers in the same spot and run the exact same thing, and it will mostly perform the same way, but there might be some slight variations. There is some RNG involved, but all of the enemies are coming at things the same way. And one important distinction that I want to kind of make before we get into it is that's not how the real game is going to operate. This is just running for testing purposes. They have flat levels that are put out here. When this game is live, it is going to operate more like the Splinterlands card game in that there's going to be different battle conditions for each one. And there we saw some poor logic up there by the towers. That's kind of one problem I've had with it. But there's going to be different battle conditions every single time this is run, making each attempt we go through very different than the last. And that is something that I really like about Splinterlands. It makes Splinterlands very unique, even with their card game. The card game itself is very straightforward. It's very simple, yet it has so much replay value. Even though we've really only got one true game mode in Splinterlands, it has so much replay value just because every single battle is different. There's not solving the puzzle necessarily. So because there's so many potential different combinations, and we are going to get that in this tower defense game. So that's going to be very different than the beta, where right now, if you watch my stream, we tried some of the levels several times and it was like solving a puzzle. Okay, this didn't work, let's try it this way instead. Oh, this didn't work, let's try this other way. And that is not how the actual game will operate. And I think that's very, very important because that's something that's different than most other tower defense games I've played. I'm not huge in the tower defense genre, so it's not like I've played dozens of tower defense games, but I've tried several out. I've even play tested some of the upcoming Web3 tower defenses, and they're all more level based and going through it. Then you can get some PvP, which actually changes things up a little bit. But as far as the PvE action, that really makes Splinterlands unique, and I think that's very important because one of my questions with the Splinterlands tower defense is what's going to set it apart from other tower defense games. Because if we're being honest here, I'll set some more things out. Can we upgrade anything? Let's upgrade this tower right here. Let's get one of those. Let's upgrade our new tower and see how it does. You know what? We've got this quick flu. I have not used that one yet. Let's set it. It's apparently for bosses. We'll set it there. We'll set one of these stews over here. And then we'll kind of let it play. Again, I don't criticize my strategy here. I'm just putting things out so you guys can see some gameplay as I talk about it. But if we look at the actual graphics, the actual animations, the actual sound effects, all of those, it's honestly it's not anything that's special, and that's kind of how the Splinterlands card game is. It's not like the graphics or anything special with Splinterlands, but there's that unique style of gameplay, and I think we'll kind of get that same thing here. It's going to be very different when it's PvE as opposed to PvP, because this is initially going to be PvE only, but I do think that's something unique that can make this game intriguing. The other second part that's going to really make this game intriguing is where you're risking all of your loot as you play forward. So as we see, we're about to die here. Can that last potion, or can that? Oh, he did get it. The spell kicked in clutch at the end, and we completed the wave. So, but they have this. So after each wave, as we play through the levels, you're going to have a choice. Do you keep everything you've earned, or do you press your luck and keep going? Because at any point, if you lose all your health and you die while playing this, again, this is not in the beta, but this will be in the actual game, you lose all of the rewards you've collected up to that point. And it's not like, oh, you lose half, you're risking all of it. So the only way to keep your loot is to actually retreat. So at some point you have to decide, okay, I've pushed far enough, I'm going to retreat and I'm going to keep what I have. The longer you play, the rewards continue to grow and grow, and there is more and more that you're risking. And that style of gameplay, the tower defense gameplay where where the level is randomized and the enemies are randomized in different battle conditions and everything is different every time you play through it, paired with there being something real and tangible on the line as we play through and continue through the levels. We are risking all of the SPS that we've collected, or all the souls that we've collected, whatever it is that our rewards are. And I think that's going to be really, really cool. And I am actually pretty excited about that. And I think as a streamer, that's going to be cool. That's going to make for some exciting stream moments when we go through that. So all of that is stuff that's not here yet. And I know I'm kind of mostly talking about things that we're not seeing right here as I'll go through. Let's upgrade some more of these. Let's upgrade this tower. And you can see some of these are locked. I'm guessing, it doesn't actually say this, but I'm guessing as we level up the cards, we will be able to get more abilities, unlock more skills there, more combinations. So all of that should be pretty cool. Let's go. Why don't we put another tarantula right up here, and we'll let it play again. But I mentioned that because I think that context is important, because a lot of people, as I was streaming and as I was playing the game, they just didn't think this looked all that cool as a tower defense game. Like, yeah, it's not bad, but if we compare it to the seemingly infinite number of tower defense games that you can go out and play, what makes this different? This gameplay doesn't necessarily look special. These graphics don't necessarily look special. The music seemed to, you can hear the music in the background. Some people enjoyed it, some people hated it, but whatever the case it was, there were some mixed feelings there. And honestly, I agree. The gameplay itself, the graphics, the animations, all of that, the ability, you've only got the ability to put towers in certain spaces. A lot of tower defense games, you can put them literally wherever you want, wherever they can fit on the map, and it gives you more options for placing things. So I would kind of agree with that viewpoint that apparently the things spawn over here in the middle. See, I wasn't paying attention because I was talking about things. They spawned, and I don't have much here in the back. So that was a poor choice by me. I should have paid attention to there. But I think my impression right now is that the gameplay is, because I'm going to lose here, the gameplay is good enough that if those two factors that I mentioned earlier, the pressure luck and having real crypto that you're putting on the line every time you advance a wave, and having randomly generated maps that truly give us a lot more gameplay options, because I kind of like tower defense games, but typically when I play them, I kind of get bored. It gets to the point where you're kind of doing the same thing over and over again, and yeah, you're maybe trying to unlock new towers or whatever the case is, but you're just playing through some of the same levels over and over again. And there's only so many levels and things that they can generate, right? By having that Splinterlands style of random battle conditions and random enemies and whatever the case is, I don't know what all they're going to put into it. That, if those two things really work the way that I hope they do, then I think the gameplay is good enough. I think the graphics are good enough. Again, they're not spectacular. Nobody's gonna watch a clip of this game. Nobody's probably, if you're watching this video, looking at it thinking, oh, this looks like a tower defense game that I have to play. I'm honestly not sure how many outside people this is going to attract, because those two things are things that are kind of, they can be hard to explain to people on the outside how appealing it is with risking that crypto or having those RNG elements and everything in terms of changing maps and constantly different things. So I'm not sure how many outside players this is going to bring in, but I think I think it's going to be great for those who are already in the Splinterlands economy, giving us another game mode, giving us something else to do in the Splinterlands economy. I think this is going to be very, very successful at that. So it kind of depends on what your goal for the Splinterlands tower defense for Soulkeep is. And if the goal is to appeal to outside people and bring in a whole new group of players and new audience, I'm skeptical that this can do it, because again, if I put some of these gameplay clips out on Twitter, are tower defense fans really going to watch those clips and instantly be intrigued by it? I'm not sure they will be. If they can watch a stream and see how much excitement there is on the stream, with when I'm risking lots of SPS or lots of my rewards to try and push it on to the next wave, when chat's yelling at me because I decide to chicken out and retreat and start again, or whatever the case is, if we can get people into those streams, I think that can draw people in. But actually getting people to watch the stream in the first place can kind of be difficult. Those are difficult things that I feel like are as far as getting people into it to start with. But I really think this can draw people in once they get into it. So that's kind of my first impressions on this tower defense game. And it really needs to hit on those aspects, and that is going to be difficult because again, like I said, the randomness, the randomly generated battle conditions work very well for Splinterlands where it's PvP. How is that going to be at PvE and balancing it for PvE? Now we do have PvP coming towards the end of the years where it's at on the roadmap. The rate things come out with Splinterlands, that probably means Q2 of next year. I don't know, but PvP will be here eventually. But it is going to be a challenge to balance it for PvE. So I'm not 100% sure that they are going to hit on these things that I think can be very unique about this game. But if they do, I do think the gameplay, the graphics, that type of thing is good enough. Is good enough. So we'll see. I want to know your opinions. How far have you guys gotten? And those of you who have played the betas, anybody else tried it? Let's see if we can. What happens if we upgrade these towers from the beginning? Maybe I should kind of start back here, especially since we know those come out of there later. So let's come back here. Let's get our, and we'll kind of, what if we upgrade these from the very beginning? What if we really go all in? And now I spent all my mana, but we can come in and we can put those back, whatever the case is. And you can sell your towers and put more out there. So anyways, this video has been long enough. If you want to, I'll have to do another stream for the rest of this. I'll stop, we'll do another stream later, and we can continue on where we left off. It should be a lot of fun. Make sure you join my Discord so you can get those alerts. I'll be streaming it here on YouTube. Hit the bell so you get notified when I have new videos, when I go live, and I will see you guys on the next live stream playing some more Soulkeep, because it's been fun. Like, I gotta admit, I was skeptical about the game, but I had a lot of fun playing for 2 hours, and the biggest features aren't even here yet. I'm not earning anything, I'm not using my own cards, progressing my own account, and I'm still having fun playing the game. So at the end of the day, that's one of the biggest things. Am I having fun? And I am. I think there's a lot of stuff to be critical about early, and it's definitely not perfect, but I do think this is set up to be a valuable part of the Splinterlands ecosystem. And I'm kind of left optimistic about it. I'm absolutely left optimistic, and I can't wait for it to show up. It's not gonna be too much longer, and we will have this game released. It is going to, I'm gonna stream it, and we're gonna see if the pressure luck is as exciting on stream as I think it's going to be. So I'll see you guys there. Thanks again.